Mitch Wayne's World.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mitch Wayne's World. And as you can see right now, look at me. Does this look like someone who's on top of his game? Does this look like a guy who woke up early in the morning ready to get after it and get active? Or does this look like a guy that woke up late as hell and was like, good morning, my bad. Matter of fact, I said good morning to someone, they said good afternoon. They looked me dead in the face. And I was like, Captain. So yeah, I just jumped into this. I started recording. It's Sunday. It's 2:30. I woke up like an hour and a half ago. I didn't post last week, but I did record a video, so I'm about to double up. Double entendre. Where is Chandra? And you know, what do I say? Last week, I guess it'll come off a little weird because I'll probably post both of these close to each other within the week. And I'm doing another short one. I figured out the sauce that I want, but I gotta put the sauce on the patty. You know what I'm saying? Put the patty on the melt. I put the sauce on the patty, melt the patty. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. To be honest, last week I was talking all about going a little too hard, playing around a little bit too much, having a bit too much fun, you know? I was depressed for a while, and then I was coming out of it, and then I went full force the other way. But then that just ends up bringing you back to like, wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I doing? This camera quality is so bad. What is this? There we go. It's a little better now. But I was just hazy. I didn't post a video because I was going too hard all week. Lots of happy hours. You know, when you work a full-time job and then you try to do this creativity practice or whatever, sometimes you got to sacrifice some things, and I did not. I've sacrificed posting this week, and that's okay. That's what happens. But like I said, I've been trying to focus really on consistency and doing this. So here I am recording and figuring out where to next. I'm hazy, brothers. I'm hazy, brothers and sisters of mine. Yeah, last night I was out and about. I was having motion, you know. A little bit of motion here. Motion. Twin. And there's just that one point when you have a certain amount of alcoholic beverages. And I was with all my great friends. It was a great time. I love y'all. Y'all, we know how to do it. We know how to have a good time and not get too crazy, not get too whatever. But, man, I was looking around at one point, and I had probably like 5 days in a row not slept well, not taking care of myself and things like that. And I was just like, all right, brother. We got to regroup, recollect, and re-engage. But I don't want to go too hard the other way, too. I think sometimes it's like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And you like, again, go all the way back. I'm trying to not be extreme. Sometimes I'm an extreme person. I've been told, and then I hold to myself that I'm very 0 or 100. And sorry if it sounds like I'm talking lightly. I am. But I'm a very 0 or 100 person. You know, I don't really do things halfway, which is a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It can be a good thing, but it's a dangerous thing because I'm either too chill or no chill, you know? And again, that just puts you in this like constant ping pong back and forth of whatever. But luckily, I got good homies that take care of me. I take care of them. We scratch each other's backs and we got each other. But I don't know. This is an interesting phase of life. This is if 19-year-old me and 25-year-old me were talking, 19-year-old me would probably be happy. He'd be a little bit surprised, but he'd be happy. And that's okay. It's a 19-year-old me. But back then, you know, when you're young, and I mean, I'm 25, so depending on who you ask, I'm either a grandfather or I'm extremely young, because people who are like 27 are like, oh my God, 25 is so young. People who are like 23 are like, oh my God, you're an old man. So I don't know what that is, but all right. But when you're like 18, 19, I mean, I remember this is when I first started doing like videos, like music videos for people and stuff like that then, and getting into the design and stuff, and yeah, all that. And you have a picture in your head of like what, like I'm 25, so I remember a lot of those things. I was like, by the time I'm 25, I'll have done this, I'll have done this, I'll have done this, and I will be here. And it's funny because, by the time I got to 25, I had done so much other stuff and kind of just let life, I just, full life living, you know what I'm saying? And even the bad experiences, you could take from that and make them good, especially if you apply the lessons that you get. But it's funny, now that I'm 25, I look back on a lot of the things that I really wish that I had accomplished or things like that, and I'm like, thank God I did not. For real, thank God I did not, because I have had and have so much learning to do about myself. And this is something that I've been talking about a lot with people, but obviously you go back 3 months, 2.5 months or whatever, and it was the first time that I started like really posting a lot. And then I go through that little romantic hardship, and you can kind of like track it up and down. It's kind of fun to watch. I can't wait to, I don't know, show my kids that or something. But I had a really good point with that, but I guess I didn't, because it just lost my mind, or it slipped my mind. I'm not smoking marijuana right now, which is a really nice feeling. It's been about a week and a half. Has it been longer? I don't know. But for the rest of May, I'm not, and my camera keeps, for the rest of May, I'm not, so hopefully my brain doesn't keep lapsing like that. But, yeah, I don't know, just looking back again on all the things, like, when I was in that relationship, I thought I had learned everything that I needed to learn. Coming out of it, I thought I was learning all the things I needed to learn. And now, this is what I was talking about. It's just interesting, like, so many people really, really don't know themselves. And I have a very lucky blessing I'm the baby of my family. And like by my entire family. So all my cousins, everyone are like about 6 or 7 years older. So is my brother. And so a lot of my like friends that aren't my age are a fair amount older. And that is a very, very lucky thing, because I get to kind of look and analyze and learn from everyone before me. And it's interesting, the things that I thought, I was like, oh, I won't make that mistake. And then I look back and I'm like, damn, I made that mistake even worse. I just didn't see what that really looked like in my specific situation. But I've been talking about this with a few different people, but definitely a couple of people I consider like my mentors, especially in emotional, spiritual realm. But like having the opportunity, I'm a very sure of myself person, and if you know me, you know that. And I don't really question myself. I go from extremely questioning myself. Actually, I question myself often, but I also don't listen to a lot of people other than myself. So that's an interesting little paradox. But at this age and going through different things, and then honestly, like, most of the like things that I think about that I'm like, damn, that was crazy, I can't believe that happened, we got through it, we were good. And then the thing that surprised me the most is what how hard it was to go through, just kind of going from feeling like being a very jaded person, not feeling a lot of my emotions and all that stuff, to like feeling all of them that I had held down for like a long time. And it's cool. I was very lucky to have people around me that were like, this is a good thing, this is great for you. And I'm really, really happy that at the age of 25 I get an opportunity to like really, really know myself and figure out like what in my life I find to be the utmost importance, and the things that I really, really don't care about. Because I think so often, most people, and if you're one of those people, I'm not hating, I'm just saying, maybe think about it. It's very rare, though, that people, at least in this day and age, go into relationships in their early teens. Their early 20s is iffy, and really understand how to have that real relationship with yourself and that real relationship with someone. And that's something that I kind of knew throughout my past one, but it's just it's an interesting thing. I don't know. God works in crazy ways. I will say that. And the lessons he puts on you for different things, man, they're hard to understand. But when you really just take a step back and, like, I don't know, you can look at everything as a blessing or a curse, and viewing things as blessings does nothing but help you, so you might as well. And it's just, like, again, analyzing where I'm at, where I thought I was going to be, and things like that. Like, in a lot of ways, it's funny, I'm, like, very ahead of where I thought I was going to be, but not in the ways that I thought. You know, of course, everyone wants the financial success, the numbers success, the clout success, all that. And it's great that at this stage in my life, from my creative stuff, I didn't really get those things. And it gave me this different perspective on what this is to me, and what, like, I'm able to do with this. And again, just kind of what it's the same thing of, like, getting to know yourself and just getting to craft, like, again, the whole thing about Mitch Wayne's World, like, finesse and focus, a curated life. That's all I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to just take myself on a journey, and whoever wants to watch it and pontificate and talk about where the fuck we are going. Because it is so interesting and confusing. And, you know, you talk to people at my age, and it's like, you know, some of my friends are getting married. Some of my friends have been married, be having kids in the next couple years. Some of my friends are still out partying nonstop. I guess I'm one of those friends now that I'm, like, out here, but not too crazy. We're not doing too stupid, but it's such a tumultuous, like, up and down period. Everyone's trying to find themselves. Everyone's trying to figure things out. And now we have the, like, time and money to go do that. So it's really cool seeing the relationships that you reconnect with, and then the people that you kind of go separate ways with. And honestly, like, going separate ways in this stage of life, like, it's kind of a beautiful thing, especially when it's a place of, you know, when someone is doing it for themselves in a positive way. It's a cool thing, and you can't hate on it. So yeah, it's just been an interesting thing. I'm sure I've said something like it on here before, and I'm going to keep talking about it on here just because, again, it's a blessing, and I'm so happy that I have the chance to really know myself. Because, you know, some people, that whole serial dater shit, that shit's scary. That shit is so scary because, you know, oh boy, if you watch this one, you'll love it. But just the whole concept of, I've talked about this before, but there was a problem. You love this. Just, I told someone to sit still, all right? And that was a big thing for me. I said, I can't stand a bitch that can't sit still. How about that? And little did I know, I was the bitch that couldn't sit still. That was me. I was projecting the fact that I couldn't sit still, and I meant that in a bunch of different ways. Again, so it's like, whether you go from, I got that addictive personality, so you can put that into so many different things. And luckily, I'm really forcing myself to put it into this now. But when you got that personality, you know, you're filling that void with everything all the time. And it's such a great irony that, you know, me and my hubris and my ego are all, you know, I can't stand this, I can't stand that. It's like, well, yeah, I can't stand it because that's me, and I'm trying to, like, find excuses and things to not piece together exactly what I'm supposed to do and what, you know, God has planned for me. So it's just a little bit of irony of, like, oh yeah. So to anyone I've said that to before, I apologize. A couple of y'all needed to sit still, but most of y'all did not, especially who I am talking to. But I'm learning to sit still, but I'm also in motion. You know, how do you do that? How the fuck do you sit still, but you in motion? If you get that reference, you are an elite. You have an elite comedy mind. An elite comedy mind. I could keep going on that for a while, but honestly, I don't have too much more time. Because I'm being a degenerate. That's why I don't have too much more time. I'm not being prepared for things, but that's okay because we're gonna get back on top of it. And also too, I'm not gonna go all the way and start being like super disciplined and have a hyper structured life. Like, I work out still plenty. That's one thing I always do. I'm disciplined about. I want to be more disciplined with the podcast and all that. But I'm not a disciplined, structured guy. That kind of also takes the soul out of me. So again, I'm still trying to find that balance, like I was trying to find last week, and you'll see when I post that one what I'm talking about. But yeah, right now we're leaning a little bit too far this way, and I'm really trying to not lean too far this way, because then it can, I don't know, there's some danger over on that side too that I don't even necessarily feel comfortable saying, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna talk about some other things real quick. Thanks for listening to me chit chat about nonsense once again. Go find yourself, fool, and actually find yourself though. Don't do it in this like weird foo-foo ass way that society tells you to go find yourself in self-care. This is one thing I hate. When people are like, self-care day, and then I see you laying on the couch all day eating popcorn with Sour Patch Kids and a bunch of nasty drinks and a bunch of things or whatever. Now listen, it's great to just kick it sometimes and chill, but that is not self-care, my brother. That is not. Self-care is fucking taking care of yourself and doing things that actually make your body better. So I'm sick of y'all going out there eating a bunch of nasty shit, acting nasty, and talking about self-care. All right, actually take care of yourself. And I'm not saying I do that shit all the time too, but I don't say self-care. I say I'm being lazy and I want to fucking watch a show and I want to eat some snacks, and that's chill, and it recuperates your mind and body in a different way. And it recuperates your mind in a different way. But stop that shit. All right, I don't have too much longer, but I want to talk about a few other things. Obviously, I'm a D-Town baby, so the Mavs headed to OKC, and boy, oh boy, are we excited than a motherfucker. That was a great series. If anyone's watching the NBA playoffs, like, this is honestly, besides a few others that I've like really, really watched and been super engaged with and cared, this is probably like my favorite year of watching the playoffs, because it's just such an exciting year. And we've got the people that are like my age and a little younger who are now in the NBA and established, like, you know, your Anthony Edwards, your Lucas and all that, kind of like balling out. And you see, you know, your LeBrons and KDs and stuff like that getting pushed out. And it's a sad thing to see, but it's also a beautiful thing to see, because it's not like, I don't know, it just feels organic, and it feels the old guard is passing down to the new guard. And that's happening in a lot of ways in our society, and just watching it in a metaphorical. Ooh, I almost just threw up on my microphone. That's why you don't do what I've been doing. But to see it go down like this is such an interesting thing. The Mavs are playing OKC. OKC, I think, has the youngest roster, almost, I think, in playoff history. I don't know. Is that wrong? I feel like I heard that. They're young as hell, though. I think their average age is like 24 or something. So, like, bro, that's absolutely insane. But it's going to be a great series. There's a lot of other good games, but I'm pretty much solely invested in Los Mavs. So, you know. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, because those of you who know me personally, yes, I am that white boy that absolutely loves Kendrick. I always have been, ever since Section 80, back when I was like, 11, 12. Woo. He just has, you know, I don't make black music, I don't make white music. This is everyday life music. And he just has this like crazy soul. Like his soul is so powerful, and the way that he just carries himself and what he represents. The Good Kid, Mad City, Pimpin' a Butterfly, the damn album. And I know it wasn't Pimpin' a Butterfly, but like the concept of pimping a butterfly, when you really dive into that, and all the different things, Untitled, Unmastered. I mean, he's just a true artist. And yeah, people make fun of him for over intellectualizing things and everything's got to be some whatever, but that's what he does. That's who he is. And obviously now he's been ripping Drizzy Drake to absolute shreds, and it's absolutely scary. And I love Drake. I will say just two different things. And T-Wayne, if you watch this, brother, I told you so. I always said if Kendrick and Drake ever came to blows, Drake wants absolutely none of that, because one of them's a pop star and the other one is a poetic warrior. I don't even know how to describe what that man is, but no one ever. I don't, and of course older people will disagree with me on this, but like I don't know a single person who's ever rapped once that could go and take Kendrick bar for bar. I mean, the dude is just way too like maniacal, intelligent, and stands on his 10. So if you want a better in-depth analysis, I mean, bro, like the OJ glove, posting the OJ glove on his Instagram, talking to his son in a song, like, brother, what do you say to that? Like, what do you say to that? Nothing. So it'll be interesting. I really hope that nothing gets violent. Those are two people that are really, really important to like the hip hop community and represent two different things. And it's funny to see people hate on it and stuff like that, but I hope it stays in relatively good sport, even though they're taking some fucking shots. But you never want to see stuff turn violent, especially with two people like that are massive figureheads and very important. You know, it would be like seeing like, yeah, LeBron and KD like fight. It would just not be good for the sport. But hip hop was kind of in like a dookie space in terms of like lyricism, intelligence, all that stuff. It became very like post SoundCloud rap era. There's a few, but I feel like it just became much more instrumental based, which is fine. But this is that old hip hop that, you know, made hip hop what it is, and seeing two titans go at it is dope. Again, you want more in-depth analysis, this is not the Joe Budden podcast. And I probably should go. I don't want to keep people waiting on me like I have been. So I'm cutting this one early. I did not do HCI history, but the one today was kind of boring. It was like back in 1998, the European Union or something made an antitrust decision bundling Microsoft Word with blah, blah, blah. And to be honest, while antitrust and all that is a very important concept, it's not something that I'm necessarily well-versed in or care all that much about, because it's just not my wheelhouse. I think my interest in tech and HCI is kind of removed from the political aspects of it. So I don't know. But there's that. I completely failed in finding balance this past week. We're going to try it again this week. And yeah, take care of yourself. Find yourself. And I'm gonna go sit still. All right.
Mitch Wayne's World.